do agree with him to a point, as I always do. To a point. But I will say, when Tom Brady, as Phil's going to get ready to play Tom Brady, has to go against this Atlanta Falcon defense. I don't see a great defensive line. And you got to have a great defensive line to beat Tom Brady and this Patriots offense. And I also see fast players for sure on tape, but I also see a lot of inexperienced players. And Phil, you know they were a different defense before their bye. They come out of their bye. They're a much better defense. They're more aggressive. Blitzing a lot more.
You played Tom Brady on our show last week. The handsome one gets to do it this week. How in the world has this guy, 17 years overall, 16 as a player because he was injured 1 year, how has he worked himself into the conversation that includes a short list of the greatest players ever in the game of football?
Yeah, it is a short list. It'll be interesting, like Boomer said, what will Atlanta do? They have changed their defense a little. Will they show some wrinkles in this Super Bowl with 2 weeks to confuse Tom Brady? I shouldn't say that. You can't confuse Tom Brady. You try to confuse the offensive lineman because he's seen it all. I mean, no matter what you do, he's going to go, I know it, but his teammates know it. But Tom Brady, let's think about him. 17 years, we've seen that shot of him at the combine, right? Well, what is he? I know.
You mean looking like a
he must hate that, and I don't blame him, but think what he's done physically.
Talk about the shirtless Tom Brady.
Yes.
Go ahead, yeah.
But think what he's done physically. He's faster right now than he was as a rookie. He's stronger now than he was as a rookie. And I say this all the time, and people talk about throwing. Brandon, you know it, and you kind of agree. He throws the ball better now than he ever has in his career. Why? How is that possible? And how has he survived the way he has? Because he was never fast. This is a big point. Because even in high school, he had to be a pocket quarterback. He couldn't outrun high school players either. So he's learned to navigate all the time.
You need some help out here?
Well, we can bring some extra guys out here.
John,
come on, John, hurry up.
They kept me in the center position way too long last week.
You know, the one thing, let me just make this point.
So where you want us at?
You stay right there for a second. Okay. Even though he's not fast, you know, when we race straight ahead, he has great feet. I mean, and that's great feet in the pocket. So you guys are protecting. Get up here in front. Let Brandon just real easy.
Yeah, I'm Vic Beasley.
Yeah, you can be Vic Beasley. You be Dwight Freeney, but don't come.
You be Dwight Freeney.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way. But don't hit me too hard. But as I drop back, I'm Tom Brady. Here you go. So I feel here's pressure. He moves up all the time. Yeah, I know you'd love to hit me.
I'm not going to hit you. Don't worry about it.
But the thing about it is those feet. No matter what, he's always like this in position to throw. And that's just a huge key for him. And the other thing that's happened to him in his career, because I went back and watched films of him from 5 years ago to watch him throw the ball. And I go, oh, gosh, I could see the difference. He's always evolving as a thrower. So his arms, he's more accurate and throws it harder. I'll give you an example. He used to throw.
You guys can go, man.
No,
you didn't even
that was good pass
him.
blocking.
Burnell, John, y'all did a good job. Hey, Boomer's pretty strong.
But just like this, like if he threw to the right, he would always go like this, step, turn, and throw. Okay, you kind of see that?
And now?
So
one more time.
He would go like this, step, turn, he'd throw the ball. You gotta be careful, I'll rip the suit, it's a little tight. So if you just saw that movement, now here's what it would look like if he was throwing to his left. So I'll turn this way, he would come this way and he'd go to throw it, he'd pull this way, he would pull and throw. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
So he had two throwing motions. He had one motion to the right and one to his left. Now, and we're gonna show some shots of it, he has the same throwing motion on all throws, which has made him more accurate.
So he's a technician.
Better touch. He's a technician, and that's what you need to be.
And that's why he's made it this far and played at a high level for so long.
You and I were talking about this off air, and I think it's really a key element to all this. There's a dedication to the preparation, and you take that along with a willingness to be coached, and to be coached hard by a head coach.
Called out in team meetings.
Right, called out in team meetings. Hey, Brady, you throw the ball like that against the Falcons, we're not winning.
A high school kid can make that throw.
Exactly.
That's
so
right.
that's Belichick, and that's their kind of unique relationship, which I think, you know, if other great players had a relationship with their great coaches, I think they would have the sustainability that these two have had. But I think when you talk about, and you know, you're a player today, you prepare your body, you prepare your mind, you prepare for game plans, you prepare for players that you're going to be playing against. This is what he does, and he does it better than anybody.
Yeah, you know, it's really a college coach I brought to a game in New England 2 years ago. He was down the field before the game, and he goes, my God, Brady in person. I go, what? What did you see? He goes, he's like a ballet dancer dropping back. And I go, boy, that's a good explanation. He works on just dropping back. And he's told me this. I'm not speaking out of house. He goes, I work on being a quarterback in the offseason. I'm not worried about how much weight I can lift. I'm worried about just my craft. And he works on his throwing, his drop. And, you know, I'm even shocked watching him in person like I did last week or 2 weeks ago. he's dropping back in practice. I go, Tim, he's faster now doing all these things than he was in his
Don't you think all this
career.
stuff started with Peyton Manning, though? Peyton Manning was the guy who took our position from what we did and what Joe Montana did and took it to another level when it came to preparation, working on your craft. I mean, quarterback schools and quarterback camps and trying to impart that wisdom on younger players. And we're starting to see that now. A lot of younger players going
Here's
down
what
that
we're going to see before we go. The Tom Brady we're seeing in year 17 playing well, we're going to see more of these quarterbacks. Guys that have the talent, they're going to learn from him. And the Aaron Rodgers, you just start naming all the young quarterbacks.
I don't think so. I don't know. It's hard to find a guy like Tom. I mean, it's hard.
Talent. Let's walk this way.
Yeah.
The reason, what do we do? Hey, look, Tom Brady may not be concerned about losing weight. I am, because Boom almost knocked me over.